Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in another episode of the Quran in English Basics for Beginners. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Surah 26 verse 123. We're looking at the series of some of the people of the past and how they rejected their messengers and then the punishment came. We started off with the story of Moses and Pharaoh. And then we looked at the story of Abraham and his people who worshipped idols. And in the previous episode, we looked at Noah and his people were then drowned, and while Noah and his people were saved in the ark. Now we continue with the series. The odd people rejected the messengers. Behold, their brotherhood said to them, Will you not fear Allah? I am to you a messenger worthy of all trust. So fear Allah and obey me. No reward do I ask of you for it. My reward is only from the Lord of the world. And this is how you distinguish a genuine messenger from a false or a fake prophet, right? Do you build a landmark on every high place to amuse yourself? Because remember, they were masters at skyscrapers. They used to build tall buildings, like how today we have so many people who are masters and infatuated with tall skyscrapers, right? And do you get for yourselves fine buildings in the hope of living therein forever? Magnificent mansions they built for themselves. Absolutely mind-boggling and dazzling, right? And when you exert your strong hand, do you do it like people of absolute power? Because remember, with power comes responsibility. You've got to be a morally and ethically sound person with integrity. But some people and nations, when they are tested with great power, instead of using it with reserve, controlling the power with patience, they unleash hell on the weaker people. And they realize that by doing that, they are actually failing the divine test. Because when you are given that great power, with that comes great responsibility, right? Now, fear Allah and obey me. So these people used to unleash hell on the people because they had luxury. They were like first world nations, beautiful buildings, amazing, like celebrity households, very powerful nations. But because they removed God from the equation of their life, because they did not use their power responsibly and were invading other nations and harming the weaker ones, eventually the punishment of God came, right? So now he is still warning them. Now fear Allah and obey me. Yea, fear him who has bestowed on you freely all that you know. You are first world nations. You are so prosperous. You got everything. But this is a test from God. Never remove him from the equation of your life. Freely has he bestowed on you cattle and sons and gardens and springs. Truly, I fear for you the penalty of a great day. They said, It is the same to us whether you admonish us or be not among our admonishers. They're not interested in the truth. They say you can talk how much you want to, you can say what you want to, we're not interested. We are having a great time. We are enjoying life. Make hay while the sun shines. We got no worry, no sorry. We can do what we want to. We got the power. We are not answerable to nobody. We are not accountable to nobody. Who are you to come tell us what we must do and what we mustn't do, right? So this is the arrogance of such people. So they say this is no other than a customary device of the ancients. You are talking like the old people. Oh, worry about God and you must remember God all the time. You are talking like the old people. Now, once again, they are mocking the believers. without realizing that the believers don't want money from them. At least these messengers. The messengers don't want money from them. They are saying it for their own goodness. And these people are mocking and insulting and scorning them. Why? Because of their boastfulness, their pride, their arrogance. Because with power comes great arrogance. With power and wealth comes arrogance. And we are not the ones to receive pains and penalties, right? They feel that they are immune to everything. So they rejected the messengers, and let's see what happens. So they rejected him, and we destroyed them. Verily, in this is a sign, but most of them do not believe. So if you are a nation who's got a lot of power, you got a lot of luxuries, you got so much abundance and prosperity, yet you forget that firstly you are responsible to use that power wisely, and secondly, don't feel you are not accountable to anybody. Some people will say, no, who's the United Nations? We don't care about the United Nations. We don't care about other countries. We will do what we want to. What they are forgetting is that they are accountable to God. God is high above the United Nations. God is high above every president and every country in the world and every nation in the world. Everyone is accountable to God. America is accountable to God, Russia is accountable to God, South Africa is accountable to God, including China and Australia and Canada and North America, South America, the Middle East, every nation. The 52 countries in Africa accountable to God, the 200 countries in the world accountable to God. The Pope is accountable to God, the kings are accountable to God, the presidents and prime ministers are honorable members of parliament. Every single human being is accountable, and they will face God. This is a guarantee. Even the atheist will stand in front of him without a shadow of a doubt. And this is what happens when you reject or you remove God from the equation of your life. If you forget about God, if you don't care about God, then God doesn't care about you. So they rejected him, and we destroyed them. Verily, in this is a sign, but most of them do not believe. Why don't you open your eyes? But they are so arrogant that their hearts have become hard, and it is eventually they will be destroyed and end up in hell for eternity in a life of misery, right? And verily your Lord is He, the exalted in might, most merciful. Stay well, look after yourself. Alhamdulillah.